Hey everyone, hope you're having a marvelous day so far today. Now, as you can see, we're going to be looking at a couple clips in Windows Media Player of clips I've already recorded from Dungeoneering in the past, and this is a topic that I've covered in a previous video of mine. Actually, in the first video I ever uploaded to this channel, my 1 hour long Dungeoneering tips and tricks video, I go over one method of completing this PIllar-Lodestone puzzle, but in actuality, there are 3 methods that I know of. There might even be more than that. But I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons to each of the different methods that I know of, why you would consider doing one over another, which ones I really wouldn't recommend, and in total there's 3, one of which I wouldn't really recommend, 2 of which it's kind of a toss-up. But real quick, let's just jump right into it. Now this first method, the pro would be that it does not require a gatestone. So if your gatestones are occupied at other doors and things like that, maybe you only have one gatestone because you haven't done the task set yet and that's occupied, then this is the method that you're going to want. Basically, the only con is that you have 0 room for error. If you stumble even one time, then the orb is going to hit you. As you can see right here, I stumbled and the orb hit me. No matter where I stumble along the path, if I stumble at all, the orb is going to catch up with me and I'm screwed. I need to go back to the beginning. Now, as you can see, I did drop a gatestone here. The reason for that is honestly just for my own convenience. This is the method I prefer to do most of the time because I feel like it's faster than the other method. And I dropped the gatestone so that it's easier for me to leave this pillar and lodestone part of the puzzle and actually get back into the floor and get to my door and continue on with the floor. My God, that rhymed a lot. But you can see the path here is that I go out to, the orb goes in one direction, I go the opposite direction, and then I go straight across from there. You're at the lodestone and you're done. Teleport back to your gatestone or go across in the opposite direction. And when I say opposite direction, I would mean you would start in the middle again and then go opposite of wherever the orb appears, not opposite like you start here and go straight across and everything, because I'm not sure if that would work. But that is basically everything you need to know for the first method. Jumping right into the second method now, this is the method that I covered in my previous video, where you go out to one side of the puzzle and you drop a gatestone. Now, the pro to this method is that you have plenty of room for error. You can stumble several times. I mean, maybe not several, probably only like 3, maybe 4. And after that, the orb will catch up to you and you'll have to start over. But plenty of room for error. If you have a low agility level, I would recommend doing this method. But carrying on, what you need to do is drop a gatestone at one end, run over to the other end, and you jump over here in order to get the orb to spawn far away from your gatestone. Teleport to your gatestone, recreate it, and drop it again just so that way you can get out easier, and then you run straight across. Very simple. The only downside I can see is that I think it takes a little bit more time to actually drop your gatestone at one, run across, teleport back over, and everything. I think it's a little bit slower in general than the last method I covered, but it's still a very good method, and by no means am I going to bash anyone for using this method. I still personally prefer to use the first method because I have a high agility level. I don't really stumble that often, and I think like it's worth it for me to take that risk and get a little bit faster of a chance than guarantee that I'll get it in the first try, but it'd be slower. But real quick, I'm going to go over the third method. Now, this is the method that was the first method I actually learned about for this puzzle back in 2010 or 2011, whenever I was actually learning Dungeoneering. Basically, it does not require a gatestone, so that's a pro to it, but the con is that if you stumble at all, just like the first method, the orb is going to catch up with you, and then you need to start over. And another con is that it's actually slower than the first method I talked about. The first method, I believe you only have to take 5 jumps over the gaps, whereas in this method you have to take 6, I believe. It might be 4 and 5, and I'm counting wrong. That little graphical glitch. But in general, the first method is going to be better than this method. I don't really see why you would be using that method, other than just not knowing the other ones. Maybe getting this zigzag path is kind of complicated, or it confuses you or something. There's like a dozen pillars in there, so I can understand if that's the case. But other than that, I wouldn't really recommend doing that method for any reason at all. Alright guys, I really hope this was helpful for you. If you have any further questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll definitely get back to you, answer anything else you might have. Other than that, thank you so much for stopping by my video. I really appreciate it. Have an awesome day, and stay happy.